Hi guys, I'm your host Wolf Raywin, and today we're doing a Java tutorial. So first off, I just opened up the Java Eclipse Editor, which is an environment that allows us to create our very own Java projects. So to get started, you have to click this nifty little button that says Create a Java Project. And for right now, I'm just going to call it tutorial. Right. And I'm definitely taking off the create module info stuff since we're not going to need that. And click finish. And now we have a full Java folder, project folder, which currently has nothing in it except for a source folder. Now, when it comes to creating Java projects, you want to first create a package inside your source folder to store various classes. So let's get started with that. So we do new, and then we do package, and then we do main. The reason I call it main is this is where our main class of functions is going to go into, and so we're starting off from there. Next up, we click new again, and we click the little C icon here which says create a Java class. And so for this class, we'll call it game. And special thing about this one is it's going to have the public static void main argument here, which means it's going to have the main class that's going to be used to call all our different functions and things. So this is where all the coding starts, and it gives us the syntax, which is public static void main, and then along with an auto-generated comment and string argument parameters that you would pass into it. Now, one of the things we can do here is just to test it out to see if it works. We can just do system.out. The system is a system command that basically allows us to do a variety of things. Out stands for output, and then print allows us to print stuff to the screen, but we're going to do print ln, and instead of void function, we're going to pass in a string called let's see, hello world, which by definition is our basic application for everything. So I'm going to remove a few of these empty spaces along with deleting the auto-generated comment, and if we click now from here, we should have a working program. All we need to do is click this little play button at the top of the screen, and it should run our game. And right in the bottom here, we have the words hello world, which indicates that our program ran successfully. Alright, and then from there, now that we know that works, we can comment that out. And we can do a variety of different things. So we're going to add a few simple variables here. So private int width and private int height, which the private value basically says, tells the game that this only exists within the game class. Now, meaning any other classes that try to retrieve these variables are not going to be able to, because it only exists in the game class that it was initially created in, meaning it adds a layer of protection. So from here we can say, let's say we decided to set the width to 200 and our height equal to 400. Okay, so right now we have a bit of an error because this width and height is being applied to the game class. So, and is not a function of main, so meaning we need additional variable information to pass in to get this to run. So, in order to do that, we need to create a instance of the game class. So we do game equals new game, game equals new game. So, and this one is our variable called game, which is an instance of the game class. And new game basically calls the default constructor, which you can't see at the moment because it's currently blank, and that creates our game class. Now from here we can simply type game.width and game.height, and now those errors go away because it's part of it applies to the width and height class. So now we have 200 here and 400 here, and if we do another system.out.println, we can say width colon is game.width, and we say height is game.height. Okay, and if we run that, we can see that the width is 200 and our height is 400. So this is basically like simple variables. It's not anything too advanced. Now, if we wanted Boolean variables, now Booleans have a unique feature that they can only store a true or false value. So let's say playing state. Okay, and by default it's set to false, and so we'll have an if statement that checks the playing state, which we have to remember to have the game in front of that, and say game.playingState. If we're in the playing state, we want to do system.out.println. We are playing the game. Alright. And else system.out.println, we are in the menu. Okay. And so by doing this, everything should be fine. Let's see, I might have something off here. Unless I'm missing something. Okay, just slash that out. Okay. And so everything appears to be currently working right here. So this is an if branch, so depending on what the condition exists in here, it will do a variety of different things. of whatever's defined. So if it's playing state, we'll say we are playing the game. If it's not playing state, we'll say we are in the let's say, make it more obvious, main menu. Okay. And from here, we can rerun that. And it says returns we are in the main menu, which means that this variable up here is currently false. So meaning we're currently in the main menu and we're currently there. However, if we change this to true and rerun the code again, we get the words, we are playing the game. Since this is now true. So now this is basic syntax for designing a few things. You definitely need branches for running different game states or other applications. But however, you won't get really far if you don't have a while loop in a loop of some kind in your game. So let's do that. So while let's do while running. While running, we'll have a variable called running. So private. Actually, we'll create it here and call it boolean running equals true. Now this is a local variable which is only specific to the function that is defined in. The other ones we created that were created up here before, those are global variables or instance variables. And meaning you can use them in any function or anything as long as it's within this class. So now for the running, we could say system.out.println quote I am running. And let's do this to remove that. So this is basically a block quote which allows you to remove multiple lines of code. This one here is a single comment, meaning anything that's at the end of it will prevent it from running. So this block comment is a little bit more, it's kind of an older style, but you have to be careful to make certain that you don't have anything that has this asterisk and slash at the end. Otherwise, it'll break the syntax. So you need to be very careful about that. Alright, and now if we hit the play button, it's we get a bunch of I am running variables. I am running sentences. So now this is an endless loop. So it is an endless loop. However, it's a variable endless loop, meaning as long as this variable, which we find running equals true, it's going to continuously run. So as long as this condition here is true, it's going to continue to run. If it ever becomes false, then we stop. And you have to make certain that you have some way to stop it. Currently with the editor, we have this shiny red terminate button that allows us to stop the application if that sort of thing is happening. So you kind of want to be careful that you have some way of stopping it outside of that, because when you're running an application, you definitely want to have a way of shutting it down safely and cleanly, rather than relying on a Windows application to tell the task to end, or whatever application you use to end the application. All right. So from there, so this is basically just the start of what you can do. So these are like very basic syntax. So you have ints, you have booleans. This technically it is considered a function, but it's a very special function since it allows you to run whatever's in here, and it's the starting. Every game, every application, Java game has a syntax. C++ has a similar syntax that you always have a main function of some sort, and it'll run from there. So I think I'll call it here. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Bolt Greywing signing out. Bye bye.